Good evening, North Park. Welcome to Devotional number 3. It seems like I was just talking to you a few hours ago, because I was. Tonight's devotional is going to come from the book of James, the brother of Jesus, starting with chapter 1, verse 2 and following. It says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And after perseverance, then let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Consider it joy. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I thought that was a stupid passage. I heard it in Sunday school. I heard it in sermons. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Become a masochist? Enjoy inflicting suffering and harm on myself? Go about beating myself with a board like those monks in the Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail? I mean, this seemed ridiculous. But then as you get a little bit older, and you look a little bit more closely at the verbiage that's being used, you realize he's not saying consider it joy as though it in and of itself is fun, as though it's something that you should look forward to, as though you've asked for suffering. Remember, we serve Christ Jesus, who asked for this cup to be passed from him in the Garden of Gethsemane. He didn't want to die on the cross either. So we're not supposed to be masochistic. We're not supposed to embrace pain needlessly. But rather, when it comes our way, whatever the kind of suffering is, of various kinds, as James says, we're supposed to consider it joy. Not because it in and of itself is fun, not because it in and of itself makes us happy or brings joy to us, but because what we value more than our current situation is how God's growing us up through it. And if you care more about the person that you are than the situation you find yourself in at any given moment of time, then you are truly wise. You have learned the fact that this life is not about this life. This life is about the next life and preparing yourself for it. So as you're in the midst of this quarantine time with all the rest of us, consider it joy. Not because you're an idiot and you don't know any better. Not because you're a masochist and you enjoy inflicting harm on yourself. No. Because you realize that what you never would have asked for yourself is giving you an opportunity to walk through life growing more and more mature, more and more patient, more and more loving, more and more wise, that absolutely more and more like Jesus Christ, who faced the Garden of Gethsemane and embraced the will of the Father even though he didn't want it. So you and I, we're not in the boat of people wanting this quarantine, this halting of normalcy. And we're not idiots who think that this is what a good time is, nor are we masochists. What are we? Well, we're people who are becoming more and more like Jesus Christ, and we're doing so by choosing joy, choosing to look at what God is doing in us. So tonight, with your family, I pray that you will take some time and think about how you're growing as a person, as a family, as you are going through this together. May you be blessed, and may you be a blessing. Good night, and God bless.